Hello and welcome back. My name is Jack B. And as always, thank you for viewing my video. I've been trying to understand the Trump-Putin relationship and their bromance. I believe it goes back to the 1980s when Trump was going to build a world-class, huge Trump hotel in Russia. He promised to give Putin 2 of his own floors for personal use. The American government and the Russian government are, for all intents and purposes, bipolar opposites. I would think our leader would be a supporter of our form of government and constitution. But Trump is a self-centered, transactional autocrat whose ego is boosted by his fellow billionaires. He does not care about our America or Americans. I now realize Trump is not like the rest of us Americans. I heard Alexander Dugin speak about Dugin's latest book. Dugin is a Russian philosopher and has been called Putin's brain. Dugin believes he has some insight into Putin's purpose, concept, and strategy of life. When Dugin explained certain excerpts from his book about Putin, a glimmer of understanding started to be illuminated in my mind. I'm not saying I agree with Putin's actions, but I see he is acting according to his beliefs, however misguided they might be. According to Dugin, Putin, who was still in the KGB when the USSR broke up, was extremely distressed when it happened. Putin viewed Russia's role to be the supreme superpower in the world, a sovereign entity whose obligation was to lead the world. He views Russia as a leader of the Eurasian part of the globe, as a mandate from above. He longs for the time of the czars. Putin does not consider Ukraine to be a sovereign country because it cannot exist or defend itself on its own. Putin's belief is Ukraine needs others to survive, therefore it needs to be under the care of Mother Russia. Also, let's not forget that Mother Russia needs the wheat grown in Ukraine as well as Ukraine's mineral wealth. Putin believes most of the countries in the world are in the same category as Ukraine. In fact, Putin's belief is that there are possibly only 3 sovereign nations in the world: the USA, China, and Russia. He believes these 3 nations should be the global forces ruling the earth. Prior to Trump being in office, Putin believed the seat of global influence and power sat in Washington, D.C. He also believed it was an extreme form of liberalism that D.C. was using to influence the world. He spoke as if globalism was equated to liberalism, and that was a problem to him. Putin also believes in the nationalistic Christian religion and is also against NATO. Trump has also claimed to be against NATO. Putin believes that each nation should be responsible for its own destiny and pay their own way. It's easy for Trump to alienate other countries by slapping tariffs on them, causing financial harm and possible collapse. In addition, Trump may be trying to collapse the U.S. economy so that he can dance into the 3rd term, remain the president, and claim he straightened out the U.S. After all, as Trump has stated, a leader of a country cannot be prosecuted for doing whatever it takes to save his country. What he doesn't continue to say was, even if that country's leader caused the downfall of the country. Putin believes the U.S. can provide whatever we need by ourselves and control others for our own benefit. But Trump fails to explain the fact that it could take 20 to 30 years for the U.S. to get where he says we need to be, and at a cost payable by the working class. Foundries and factories need to be built from scratch, ores need to be found, mines need to be established and opened, and then become productive. All this takes time, not to mention the pollution released into our environment, especially with all the changes Trump has made to the EPA regulations, allowing more pollution. A company or corporation not having to clean up its toxic pollution allows for a bigger profit margin for the billionaires club. The people just become tools for the billionaires and continue to suffer. This is all for the benefit of the billionaire club. Trump's drive to annex large parts of the world, such as Canada, Greenland, the Panama Canal, and other countries, is also in line with Putin. As a note, Trump had one of his billionaire buddies purchase the ports at each end of the Panama Canal. Musk gutted the FAA and now will be getting a $2 billion contract to update their systems with Starlink. NASA and NOAA will be next on the list. They'll be getting SpaceX taken over and another $2 billion contract for Musk. DOJ's cuts in the FAA and air traffic controller personnel has compounded a dated system and made flying unsafe. Trump is clearly following Putin's and Xi Jinping's playbook for lifelong autocratic presidents. Xi Jinping and Putin have ruled for more than 25 years. Both changed their rules and constitution to allow them to be in power for almost a lifetime. Putin is extremely happy with the changes Trump is making, morphing the executive position into an omnipotent, autocratic, dictatorial position. No rule of law, supported by minions who know nothing, which, by the way, his minions demonstrate repeatedly. There is no one to challenge his position. Trump squashes his detractors and news agencies. He disrupts, distracts, denies, and deflects. Dugan mentions the fact that Russian leaders are very happy and support Trump and want him to rule. Trump is sowing ideas that he may run for office again in 2028. Does anyone else see any similarities between Trump and Putin? Well, these are my thoughts for today. And again, whether you agree or disagree, please verify the information presented. Thank you. Until next time, take care and be safe. Bye. Ooh.